Not gonna.
Jet black.
What?
And
All right.
what color is it charcoal?
We.
I learned that we're partnered with a great third-party company that does our pyramids.
Yeah, 24-hour service.
Yeah.
Customer service.
One number.
7 days
That's
a
what I
week.
One call.
One
That's
call
all.
does it all. That's it. That's it.
Ah man, that's great stuff.
Tracy.
All right.
Tracy.
So look, here's what we're gonna train on today. How many of you guys have a warm market that you feel like you butchered it with, and you're just like, damn it, I screwed that up. Now you're like prospecting Panera Breads all day, every day.
Panera.
Yeah, it's a restaurant.
Huh?
How's this business work, right? Mostly, obviously, warm market to warm market, doesn't it? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. So, step one in our system is what, Katie?
Prospecting.
There you go, have a prospect.
Woo! Good job, Katie. Yeah.
So then you have your cold market and you have your warm market. So what do you do typically when you go home? Like after you just saw the presentation for the first time.
I fired up the
Oh my God!
scenario.
Honey,
We're gonna be millionaires.
we're gonna be so filthy rich. We're gonna build a big business. I'm gonna be a financial professional, and I'm gonna go by the Beard of Financial Pro. I'm a beast, right? then your not so enthusiastic spouse who like hates anything self-improving. What are they gonna do?
You work at McDonald's.
Yeah, what are you doing? You're a firefighter. You should just be a firefighter and not worry about it, and that's it. How are you gonna do that? You can't. Yeah, like my mom's at the time, I think they're married husband or they were dating for a while. They came to Vegas, my first convention, and he had said something like that, like, how are you going to be a financial professional without any college education or a degree? And I was like, you don't have it. Look how smart you are with money.
Ooh. Oh, burn.
Boom.
Sorry, excuse me.
Okay, Cardi B.
So, but that's typically what you do, right? So you guys have all been here for at least 6 months, except for Mike, who's been here a little bit. And maybe you have a warm market that you did butcher it with, that you did screw it up. So how can you come back around on that? That's what you really got to do, right? How many of you guys would like to go back to your warm market and have them now referring you people because they're suddenly believing in you? Would any of you guys be interested in learning about that?
Yeah.
Right? So like the biggest thing you got to do first and foremost is pick up the phone. You got to call them. You have to make that attempt to even talk to them, don't you? You can't just like say, hey, you know what, I screwed up. I'm never going to talk to them again. You may have some of them, they're like, I never want to talk to you again. Whatever, that's fine, right? So the best way that you do it, number one, call them. Pick up the phone. Don't text. Or if you run into them or call them or face to face, you want to have actual conversations. I think it's so easy these days to obviously just text people, right? It's way more convenient. You don't need to like put any effort into it. So when you actually call them, the next thing you want to do right off the bat is catch up. So let's say I screwed it up with Mindy. She was my warm market, one of my best friends, and she's like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? You're crazy. But now I've been in this business for months, right? I've been here a couple months. She's seeing on social media that I'm posting stuff. I call her up. Say, hey, Mindy, how's everything going? How's work? How's the family? Everything going all right? Yeah, it's awesome. That's great. And then just having a conversation, right? Because you should still be keeping up with people, even if they like thought you were nuts. Trying to reach out to people without trying to pitch them and sell them. This isn't It Works, where you just try to sell them wraps, lotions, potions, and all that other crap. You actually want to have a conversation with them, treat them like human beings, right? What's a good conversation piece? How are you going to know what to actually talk?
Form.
Form. What's form stand for?
Family. Recreation. Message.
Perfect. So you want to start talking about the family. Again, if they're good friends with you, like I'm like, hey, Mindy, how's your family doing? How's everything going? If it's a stranger on social media, like I've had some people approach me, I'm like, hey, so I'm a random person just added you. Oh, do you have kids? Like, the hell, get the hell out of here, weirdo. And I told someone that. It's like, well, the best network marketing approach is form. I'm like, dude, I know all about form, but you don't talk to strangers about their kids. That's not how you sell Bitcoins. Leave it alone. Number 3, you want to apologize. Why are you going to apologize?
Butchered.
You screwed it up. Say, look, Mindy, I gotta be honest with you. The reason why I'm calling is actually to apologize to you. I know a couple months ago, I actually talked to you about the business I was actually going to be going at the time. I was extremely fired up. I didn't know what I was really talking about at the time, and I probably just threw up a bunch of information on you that wasn't the most congruent to actually getting my message across. So I wanted to apologize for misrepresenting what I was going to be doing. So then they're like, oh, okay, hey, look. Now they're like, oh shit, now they realize that you realize you screwed up. Do you understand how impactful that is with people, right? Have you ever gotten into an argument with a friend or over like something you thought was off or different and it was just the way it was communicated? And then they're like, oh, okay, so I see where this is at. Now when you go in after apologize, you want to go in for the re-engagement. The re-engagement is very simple. It's going, after apologizing, say, I'm still with the company. We are doing a lot of good stuff. We're actually looking at opening a couple more offices. But my biggest thing is, as a good friend of mine, I still want to be able to have your support. And I don't want to lose our friendship because I screwed it up a couple months ago. I want to actually show you, I'll take you to lunch or take you to coffee. I actually would love to show you for 20 minutes just what we do correctly, so that way maybe if you know some people, you can help send some referrals. And that's it. I'm not looking to recruit you or sell you. I just want to properly tell you what I'm doing this time now that I've gotten better education and I'm licensed to the state. Is that fair enough? And just ask about that. You're not going with your tail in between your legs, but you're going with some humility, right? Because you got to recognize you've probably screwed some things up. And if they're like, no, I'm not interested, I don't want to be, hey, okay, no worries. Well, let's definitely keep in touch. I would still love to take you to a coffee and just catch up. And that's it. So, what's step one? Call. You have to pick up the damn phone.
One call, that's all.
In follow-up, it's like 12 to 15 calls. 25 calls, that's all. That's all you get. I've called my prospect 25 calls. Well, that's all they get then.
Next.
Exactly. So I'm gonna do just a mock call, right? Hey Mindy, how's it going? How's your family doing?
Great, Justin, how have you been?
Super duper, been doing great, awesome, cool. How's work? How's everything going with Dr. Zuck?
Oh, it's still going the same.
Ah man, that's good. Did you go? I saw you went on vacation with Destiny down on a cruise. Is that right?
Yep, we had a blast.
Did you? I see a lot of pictures. A lot of the architecture looked pretty awesome. Looks like you had a good time. You look like you got super tan. Didn't recognize you in your pictures.
I did. I've lost a lot of it.
Must be nice to tan and not burn repeatedly. But hey, look, the reason why I was calling you though, Mindy, is I actually wanted to apologize. A couple months ago when I started WFG, I called you up super excited, super pumped up, right? And I just puked a bunch of information. I just said all this crazy stuff. I was just really excited. I don't know if you've ever been super excited and just like started just blurting stuff out, but that was me. So I want to take ownership of that and apologize. I don't want to ruin our friendship because I did, just go a little crazy and tell you a bunch of stuff of me being a millionaire and all that crap. So I apologize, right, Mindy? But I also wanted to truly show you what I was doing. My whole point isn't to recruit or sell you anything or whatever. I just want you to really understand why I'm so impressed with this company and why I'm so passionate about it. Now that I'm in the company for a few months and I'm actually licensed through the state now, I wanted to see if you are willing to get with me for about 20-30 minutes, maybe grab a coffee together. Let me explain what I'm doing, so worst case scenario, you at least can refer some people over to me. Does that sound like a good place to start?
Yeah, Justin, that sounds good.
All right, perfect. Then boom. Then you set a date and go talk to them. And when you sit and talk to them, now you got a point. And if she comes back and says, no, it's fine, I kind of got what you do, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. Not your fault. You tried. At the end of the day, you got to disconnect yourself with the outcome. Like with everything. Hey, if they don't want to do it, cool. If they want to do it, cool. So, and that's how if you did butcher your warm market, you just got to go back. And if you're not confident, again, this is going to require some confidence. When you sit and talk to them, you're going to go back over. You're still going to have a conversation with them. Treat them like a person, catch up with them. You don't want them to sit down and be like, WFG. Like, no, you want to just treat them like a person. Now, when you go and you sit and talk to them, it's just like a field training. Number one, again, you're going to build rapport. Rapport. Then you're going to go over the 5 C's, which is
Crusade, in
the
order?
company.
Okay, company.
Say, look, Transamerican WG have been around for a good period of time. We're not just some relatively new company. I was new, sounded stupid, but they're very reputable. Our parent company is Aegon. They're number 9 on the too big to fail list in the world. Next, you're going to go over so again, it's the company and also credibility. Because credibility is also your credibility. Like when I first engaged with you, Mindy, and started talking with you about the company, I wasn't that credible. But now I'm licensed. I've helped a bunch of clients out recently, actually getting a protection safe for their retirement. I've actually become very credible in the area. One of the expansion directors, opening up offices with our senior marketing director team, and we've been doing a lot of good stuff. I don't know if you remember the first time you started your job with Dr. Zuck. You were pretty excited, pretty fired up. You had huge hopes and dreams, and you were just spouting out tons of great things. And then you got into it and became more credible because now people see that you've been doing oral surgery with Dr. Zuck for years. Now you're very credible. So that's where you're really talking about the credibility. The company, the credibility is inside of that, but your own credibility. You start talking about the crusade. Our whole company's conversation, Mindy, is making sure that no family is left behind. We believe that too many families are uneducated when it comes to money. When we're in school, we don't learn about money. We don't learn about concepts. There's so many people with debt. You know, lots of people are just needing help. So we want to help people from all walks of life build a better financial future. Then you're going to go into the concepts. Since we believe in financial literacy and education, we want to make sure that people are properly protected with life insurance. Do you know anybody who has kids? Yeah, lots of people. I have kids. But look, obviously we have kids. If something happens to us, God forbid, we want to make sure we're financially taken, or their families are financially taken care of. I'm sure the same thing with lots of parents. So who do you think would love to talk to us about getting proper life insurance? Almost everyone. How many people you know are in debt? So life insurance, debt, 401k are the 3 concepts. Then you have a conversation on debt. Who knows in debt? Lots of people, right? We have over $1.5 trillion student loan debt. An average household has $16,000 of consumer credit card debt per household. So do you think people want to get out of debt? You know most people spend at least 20% of their income every month on debt. That's like average. One of my clients is putting 51% of her monthly income towards debt. That's insane. The teacher. Yeah. So imagine you get paid $3,600 a month and $1,800 goes to debt. Ouch. Sucks, doesn't it? But that's the secret life of desperation most families are living. Even at 20 to 30%, if you're getting paid $3,000 a month, $900 goes to debt. That's not even counting typically their mortgage. So you see how easy it is for people to live 40 to 50% of average income goes to debt. So who do you know that we should help get out of debt? There's tons of families who want to get out of it. We can get them out of debt half to 2/3 of the time. With this teacher showing her to get out over about $250,000 of debt in 9 years, do you think she's pretty ecstatic? Do you think she ever saw that possibility? No. She was blown away. I mean, Katie saw, she was just like sitting there flabbergasted. At first it's kind of hard to read her, but when she's just like, she was sitting there staring like, holy shit, I can really get out of debt. So that's why she's like, you need to talk to my sister. Her sister added me on Facebook and messaged me first. That's how good of an experience she had. She's like, my sister said I need to talk to you. She's like, what do I need to do? She's like, I live 2 hours away from you, but I will meet you. I'll do what I have to do. I said, hey, thank God for the technology. I created for my team, we created all electronic forms. So if I have a financial analysis online, she goes to my website, puts all the information in, hits submit, comes right to me in an email. That's pretty sexy. And all I got to do is read through it. Okay, she wants a budget. I'm going to send her a budget. She wants me to do a debt plan. Just got to do a little bit of time with her on a debt plan. Now, Mindy, who do you know who has a 401k? Most people, when it comes to retirement and business and their job, they typically will be saving in a 401k, right? Mm-hmm. So Do you think most people are educated on the 401ks, or they just kind of save it?
Just saying.
So we want to teach people how to actually understand financial concepts with money. We want to teach them about the tax impacts, the impacts of the market whenever the market tanks and losing money, and showing them how they actually protect their family with their retirement as well. So doesn't it make sense that they should know that?
Yes.
Great. Now you go on to the last C, is close. Perfect, Mindy. Now that I gave you hopefully a better understanding and you can understand a little bit more about us, what would you like to kind of learn more about? Would you like to learn more about maybe the client side of how we help families with financial independence? Would you be interested in learning about the business side too, about how we can actually help families make additional money by referring us clients? Or are you interested in both?
Both.
Then boom. Okay, so yeah, not really interested in any. Okay, cool. Here's some of my business cards. Hand them out for me. Can you do that? Simple. The only thing you did though was change their mind, because when they go home and they pay that $900 towards their credit card debt that month, who are they going to think of now? Your ass. When they got a friend who's like, man, you know what? My 401k just lost a bunch of money. I wish I had someone to talk to. Who are they going to think of? You.
Financial plan.
The bearded financial pro. The beast of finance. Looks like it too.
I like it.
Of course you like it.
You know you're wrong with that now on.
Yeah, I like it. Well, we're working on a joint like marketing campaign, Beauty and the Beast of Finance. Yeah, pretty good. Watch out.
So Tracy's the beauty, you're the beast. Got it.
Yep, she's my beauty. She's my
Stop.
karma scheme.
Just
My karma.
stop. Just stop.
All right, so but you see how easy that is, right? And this conversation, by the way, is what you're doing in the field anyways. This is what you should be doing. This is what Greg Cap did and how we tap roots. I listened to a call where he talked about his field training and what he did. A lot of families, what do? They're going to go sit down at a table, or a lot of, not families, but agents, they're going to have a whole presentation. Slide 1. Like, how exciting is that?
Not
It was like
sexy.
selling.
Exactly. WG has lots of presentations, lots of stuff that you can use. Man, I just believe if you connect with people and have a conversation like a human being, they will actually do more business with you. So this client, you know what? You're going to have to sit with the client one extra time. Okay? You can kind of combine it too at some point where if you have time where you do this and like, oh, I'm interested in the client. Okay, well, let's do a financial analysis while we're sitting here. But I only want to be in someone's house 20 to 30 minutes. Or sitting with them for coffee for 20 to 30 minutes. Because when I set the appointment up with her, what did I say?
20, 30.
Let's get together for 20, 30 minutes, have a conversation, grab some coffee. Right? Then I sit through this, hey, what are you interested in? I'm interested in the client side. Cool. Well, let's find a time coming up tomorrow or the next day that we can actually get together and go over your financial plan. Let me give you an F&A, start filling it out. We'll get together, intake it. And once you learn the steps of the sales process, the 3 appointments you do, you can actually close them in the second appointment. You can actually close them in the first appointment if this goes really well, but you're not going to. Have you ever had sign and dies? I did. Had one that I recruited out in Athens. She sent me an email like a day later, this long ass email I didn't even read. I was just like, yeah, I know exactly what that says. She's like, it's not timing for me. I'll hit you up. I'm like, oh, sucks to you. Whatever. But if you build this rapport, like with the client I sat with in Athens, the time Katie and I sat with her, it was the 3rd time I sat with her. You want to know how much I closed on her? $22 a month term. If you want to know how much I'm going to make long term from her? Thousands and thousands of dollars. Just from referrals. Like I'm already going to make about $1,500 on a referral to her sister. And then long term for that client too. She has a lot of other stuff coming up in the future. From settlement money, every 4 years she has a $10,000 increment increase. She got 10, then 20, then 30, then 40, then 50, then 60. By the time she hits 60, it's going to be 100, 110, 120, all within a 10-year period. So she was freaking out now, and I'm like, the future though is going to be great, right? Like, hey, 300-some thousand, 10 years being retired on top of the money you're saving.
Right.
Pretty sexy. Okay,
Big sexy.
so what'd you say?
Big sexy.
Big sexy, thank you. All right, so that didn't help. Made things worse. Need my- Hopefully Hopefully you didn't sneeze in this one.
I did not. I'm not sneezing yet at all. Just a little tickle in the throat,
That's when all that green stuff was.
This.
That's what he said. So your booth said.
Alright. So Armani. Actually, let's start Delroy. Delroy, what's the first step when I screwed an appointment up? Or screwed up with a hot martin? What's the first thing I have to do?
Call and apologize.
Make the call. You have to pick up the damn phone and push a green button.
Pick up the phone. and
Start
dial.
dialing. It's your girlfriend. Think you're a freaking loser. Pick up the phone and start dialing.
That was a joke.
You guys know what movie that's from?
No.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
You go home every night to your worthless fucking wife. Pick a phone up and start dialing. All right, sorry, I got distracted. So you got to pick up the phone and dial. What's step 2 when you talk to them? Armani.
You apologize to them.
Wrong.
Oh,
Catch
sorry,
up.
sorry. Yeah, catch up.
Catch up with them. Hey, how's it going? You doing all right? Cool. It's been a minute. Man, so excited. Then
Then you apologize.
Then you're like, hey, my bad. I sucked when I first started. I did not know what I was talking about. I vomited on you with all my business and all my information. I spoke too crazy. I was just pumped up, fired up, super excited. Whew. Whatever people do.
What is that? Flossing?
Trying. I don't know how they do that.
I'm dead right now. I'm dead.
Anyways, sorry, shut up. Get distracted.
You did that.
So apologize, I suck. My bad. What's next, Chris?
Reenact.
Or Katie, sorry. Huh? So yeah, now you have to re-engage with them. Now you're like, look, I want to get with you. Then you go into setting the appointment. Now, Mindy, now that you're on the appointment, what's the first thing you do?
Build rapport.
Build a rapport back up. Have that conversation with them.
Can I say that
And
floss
talk to
thing
them.
again?
Huh? What?
Do that floss thing
Yeah,
again.
dental
She
floss.
said. Do that floss
Yeah.
thing again.
I got
What?
doing that dance from the Katy Perry video.
Got me who's like,
Yeah, that's the one that that kid did. Now I don't know how they do it. Hey, focus! You guys after this are gonna be like, shit. I just remember flossing. I don't remember how to actually. I don't remember anything. All right, so Mindy, you make rapport and you start building up with them and talking back to them. What's next, Ian?
5 C's.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe I missed one. Anyways, 5 C's. What's the first C? The company. You're talking about Transamerica, WFG, talking about Aegon. What's next after talking about the company?
The creed.
The credibility.
Credibility.
Yeah, sorry.
That's
Credibility was, I put CRED because I don't feel like
The
spelling
cred. I meant to
credibility.
put cred. Credibility.
Yeah, whatever.
The creed.
The creed.
The creed.
I
The creed.
am a WFG agent. I help families. And you're like standing there with like a sword, like,
Huzzah!
huzzah! Like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? They talk about what is the credibility though? Who's the credibility of? Yourself. Talk about your damn self. Talk about the credibility of your office, of your team. And what's after credibility, Mike?
Crusade.
The crusade. What is our crusade?
No family left behind.
None.
Yay!
How many families left behind?
None.
That's our creed. What's after that, Kev? After you talk about the credibility, the crusade, what's next? The concepts. Darren, Lovelace, what's concept number 1?
Concept number 1.
No.
He's so excited.
Ooh, I know.
What's that?
I know.
This is easy.
He got this.
It's the only thing you're licensed to sell.
Health insurance.
Life insurance. Talk about life insurance.
Life insurance.
What's the next concept?
Debt.
Talk about debt.
Debt.
And what's the last one?
401k.
I thought you said
You
dead.
talk about the 401k where people are saving at. And then what's the last C?
Close.
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 Shut the door.
So you talk about those and you guys need to memorize that because your conversation will flow that way. That's the conversation I have with people in the field. And then the close is, hey, are you interested in more learning about the business, learning about client side, or learning about both? So if you guys have more marks that you screwed up, what should you be doing today?
Calling.
Make the damn call and have the conversation with them. And start dialing. You don't need to be reading from a script. Hi, my name is Mindy Setzer. I am with World Financial Group. No, talk to them like people.
WFG.
We're going to talk about the last thing real quick. I'm not going to dive into too big a detail, but from Grant Cardone, 10 biggest follow-up mistakes. Because follow-up is, this is essentially a follow-up, what you're just doing. It's a follow-up on a call, on an appointment, on a lead. So number one mistake is not making the call. Isn't that just freaking amazing? It's amazing that that's the number one thing that Grant Cardone says. Number two, not making enough calls. You know, people will come to me, Justin, my business isn't working. Well, how many calls have you made? I made 2 this year. Like, wow, it's almost September. You're making 0.03 calls a month right now. You pick up the call or pick up the phone and you stop dialing.
Well, you dial a couple numbers and stop.
No one answered. I had 38 missed calls today. Why are you excited? Number 3, calls not on a regular basis. So you're not making consistent calls. You're like, man, I'm fired up Monday morning, phone's on, 30, 40 calls, then all week you make 0. Number 4 is waiting too long to follow up. Have you ever made a call to someone? I called Delroy in January, it's now September. Oh, Delroy, I gotta call him back. No. Man, I call people, when I prospect them, I will call them every day for the first 4 or 5 days. I'll hit them up. I'll shoot them a text. But I'm not going to be like crazy stalking, like, I see you at Kohl's right now, answer the phone. No, I'll shoot them, and when I say I reach out to them, it's not going to be through a call or a text as well. Because when I call them and they don't answer, I shoot them a text. Hey, man, it's Justin. I met you at Kohl's the other day. Give me a call back when you're free. They don't call back next day, hit them back up. Then you may wait a couple days, and but you have to understand, if you have a cold market prospect that you call once and they don't call them again, they forget all about you. Because once you make that call and they're like, who? You've already lost it. They've already forgot about you. They've already realized their job sucks and they're never going to leave and they're going to be there until they die. Lack of variety in reasons to call. What that means is when it comes down to like I said, you have to have text, calls. If you have emails, sending emails. Because if you just call and never text, right? Have you ever gotten a call that calls you repeatedly and you know it, like you're like, I don't know who it is, I'm not going to pick it up?
And they shoot you a text.
Yeah, exactly. 86% of people's voicemails are never read or heard or listened to. 86. So any WFG agents that are older, they're like, yeah, call, just leave voicemails. You're like, 86% of your voicemails, sir, don't get read. Do you notice all your voice, mine does, I don't know if anyone else does, but your voicemails, mine are translated to text messages now. 96% of texts are actually read within the first 3 minutes. Because if you get a, and you're like, oh shit, text, oh, that's great. You'd rather text someone, right? So if I get a text from someone, and I'm like, hey, this is Delroy, I met you at Kohl's at your job that you said you hated. I'm going to pick the phone up and probably call him because I know who it is. Instead of just voicemail. Like, you ever turn your phone, like reset it, and it lets you know your notification, hey, you have voicemails? What do? Clear that notification. Until I get a notification like, hey, your voicemail box is full. And then I'm just on it like, delete, 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 delete. I don't listen to any of it. But text, on this phone, I can go back to text all the way to August 28, 2017, or my last text on here.
I can't, my storage is full.
Oh, you have an iPhone? Oh, that sucks. I don't even know what that feels like. I have tons of storage.
Yep.
And it automatically syncs up to you. It's great. Anyways.
You can do that on iPhone.
Yeah, sure. Everyone I keep seeing with the thing on it, storage full, they sure don't do it. No clear purpose in the call is number 6. You don't even know why the hell you're calling them in the first place. You have to have an intent. So what if they answer the phone? Hello?
You're like, oh,
Hey!
you answered.
I can't tell you, like I've done that before. Like, man, when I first started making top 25 calls, hit the green button. Hello? Alright, they didn't answer. Right? It's tough. So you have to have a clear purpose on why you're actually calling. Number 7, not leaving a message. Either the voicemail or the text. You just call and say, okay, cool, they didn't answer. Leave a voicemail or text them. Number 8, not collecting critical data for future sales. This is huge when it comes to like not just the sales, but the prospecting and like the recruiting side. So if you use BSC Pro, which you definitely need to be, whenever I do BSC Pro, I'm always typing my notes in there, how I met them, where I met them at, what they're interested in. If I meet with a client, I'm updating in the client side. So that way when I pull them back up in the BSC Pro, it's basically a CRM, pull them up in the CRM, I'm looking, okay, I called them these dates, here's my notes, here's where we left off. So when I call them, say, hey, last time we talked, you said you're interested in this, or you're going to be doing this. What's going on with it? Where are you at? Let's get together and finish that up. Versus, hey, Justin, what step were we at? Like, I don't even know how long will we talk?
Yeah.
You realize your calls suck when you talk to people because you're not structured enough. Like for me, that's one of my really good structured areas. Like I'm really good at that. Number 9, not asking for referrals. Hey Armani, I'm not interested. Excuse me. What do you say next after I say, hey, I'm not interested?
You know what it is?
You know anybody who probably need our product, our service that we provide, and you just seen what we did, or if you're on a field training with somebody, go, okay, you know, you see what we did, do you at least know anybody who probably would need something like this?
Yeah, don't ask, tell them. Who do you know that needs us? Do you know anybody? Like, no. Also get very specific too. Hey, who do you know who's married who has kids who probably need our services? Because if you get very specific, and also on the recruiting side too, do you know anybody who is married, they got kids, they have a good job, they're bilingual, but maybe a little dissatisfied? They're gonna be like, oh damn, me is bilingual. Nope. That's just an example. She's there. What do you're bi in what language? You speak Spanish?
Hombre, claro.
Look, I don't speak Spanish. I know tacos and cerveza, so don't.
Exactly.
Tacos and
Yeah, no. They called me Weddle when I was growing up.
What's the cerveza? Oh,
Number
that's
10.
beer. Beer, okay.
This is very, again, it kind of taps on it. You're not organized to store data. Like, I hate paper because it's not, like, I don't organize paper. I see it and hate it. It's like a voicemail. Go away. Like, you have to be organized in order for you to actually make consistent calls and build that business efficiently. Because if you aren't organized, like I said, you're not going to know what step you left on at. This is a business. You have to keep a paper trail of everything you're doing, or an electronic trail of everything you're doing. Because if you don't, it's going to fall through, and you're going to forget about people. You ever done that?
Yep.
It's tough, and it's not like you do it intentionally. Like, when I was in Athens, not this last week, but the one before that, I prospected 5 people. Now, if I didn't have a way that I was properly tracking them, how easy do you think it would have been to just be like, oh damn, I forgot who it was? Or if you're still like, kind of a little slow and you get their numbers on a piece of paper, you ever lose that piece of paper?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so stop getting numbers on pieces of paper. Problem solved. So, anyways, guys, that is my training for today. Hopefully you guys got it. Real quick, we're gonna bring up Wayne. He's got some things that he needs to say real quick, so give him a round of applause.
Just really fast, we just want to talk about Wealth Bowl. Just for those who don't know, and if you guys, everybody does know, Wealth Bowl is January 3rd through the 5th. We've committed, now they've done the website a little different. You can, I think it's Plan to Focus.
Yeah.
It's Plan to Focus. I just went and bought 10 tickets 2 days ago, but you can reserve tickets now. So I thought that was pretty cool to let us know like when the tickets are like finally gonna be like gone. So I reserved 50 tickets. I bought 10, I reserved 40 more. Also, what we are doing is we've put a down payment on a bus for our team. And what we're gonna do is what's funny is we recruited somebody who does this stuff, like sell buses, I guess. I said, well, what happens if no one rents buses? I don't know too many people who rent buses. So I just got the idea, like, hey, we could just all leave from here and just rent a bus and go to Tennessee. So I said, okay, if I rent this bus from you, like, what is it that you plan on doing for us? So she told me all the stuff, blah, 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 blah. I said, well, that's not gonna do anything for me. I said, if I helped you and I showed you a way how to make so much money, because that's what she was into, everything she was doing. She's doing like 9 things. And I'm like, hey, is it because you just love working or you just want to make more money? She said, I just want to make more money. I said, well, listen, don't say this to nobody. Because this is a friend of mine. I said, let me ask you something. How many buses you done sold since you've been doing this thing? She said, none. I said, well, listen, if I talk to somebody right now and they want a term policy from me, at my contract level, it's real sexy to say, well, $20 will make me 200. It's kind of like not that way at like training associate. $200, I think you might make $20. I don't really know what that number is like. So she was just fascinated with that alone. But Wolf Bowl is coming up. Jeff just wanted me to just make sure that, you know, we just make those announcements every single one, every single Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And we just plan on going. That's all I really got for today. It was awesome. Thank everybody for being here. Mia, we appreciate you. Thank you. And let's go get it.